Sometimes it's best to not roll the camera on a project until you've had time to scratch your noggin and figure out that, no, I didn't screw up as bad as I thought I did. Hey everybody, my name is Sam and welcome back to Green Acre Homestead. Welcome back to this next part in the series of us doing a roof over on our mobile home. We're sticking a brand new roof on our 1988 Palm Harbor single wide mobile home, adding overhangs, gutters, and eaves. Maybe that was it, I forget. All that stuff where we had none to begin with. For a disclaimer, yep, there it is. I'm not a pro. Don't follow what I'm doing as a step-by-step. Don't even do anything I do. Just sit back and enjoy the picture show, and hopefully nothing terrible happens, but you guys stick around until the end, right? Alright, so today what I'm doing is a continuation of yesterday's work where I left off, and that was putting up the new eave things that I've been framing. The eaves. We're just going to call them the eaves. Putting up the new eaves that I've been framing. Now the whole reason I said sometimes it's better to start working before you roll the camera is yesterday when I left after I was done with the video, I came back out and looked, and oh my goodness, I was off big time. My rafter tails were hanging down from the plywood a good inch to almost an inch and a quarter, beyond the point of being able to use it. So I let it stay overnight, and I came out after work today and give another good look. Just want to make sure I wasn't looking at anything weird, and yeah, they were off, really bad off. So here's what I'm running into. One, I don't really know unless the house is just twisty as a twisty noodle. But the first one I did, these are pretty good. There's a little bit of gap here and there, you know, it's not dead on perfect, but this whole 8-foot section is great. There, you know, like I said, a little bit of gap, but the plywood can be pulled down to it, and these rafter tails are plumb. Yeah, this section, you know, not perfect, but close. Heck of a lot better than this second section. Look at this. That's all sorts of wonky. I'm at the point where I'm going to take this one down, and instead of putting the 2x4 against the house first and then raising it up to the roof, I'm going to kind of put it to the corner and let the rafter tails attach to the plywood and see how that looks. It'll probably give me a bigger gap back here at the house, but like, okay, so yeah, like this hand, I can put fingers back there, and that's kind of what I'm expecting because the old roof overlaps at the top. So it's, in my mind, it's thicker, and then it kind of gets skinny because this is just aluminum siding over the studs. So I'm okay with this situation, you know, hands behind the board at the bottom, much more than this situation. So let me take this whole section down that I put up yesterday, stick it in the corner, put it up against the plywood, and see how bad off everything looks then. Because at this point, I don't know what else to do other than probably scrap every bit of the work that I've done so far. And I don't want to do that just yet. Okay, I fought and finagled with everything for a little bit. Took this second piece down and put it up like I said I was going to, like paying more attention to the rafter tails lining up with the plywood in the top corner of the house and not caring so much that the bottom edge is flat with the wall, and it went a lot better. I even pinned 3 of the rafter tails to the plywood with screws, and it really makes it look nice and straight. Everything looks fine. We're not exactly dead plumb, but the inconsistency between second section and first section are the same. You can see right here, here's these two where they meet. I have not attached them with screws or anything yet, so there's a little bit of play. But as far as how they match and meet up, I've not attached them with screws or anything yet, but as far as how they match and meet up on this front face plus the bottom, they are the same together. So from here, I'm going to tack the plywood down with the screws. It'll pull it to the rafters and make everything super good and tight. And to be honest, it's going to be good enough. None of this is ideal by any means. The ideal thing would be, you know, tear the whole siding off, tear the whole roof off, rebuild it. Ah, heck, just build a whole new house, why don't you? Reality is we can't do that. So we're trying to make the best we can of a situation that is not ideal from a builder's standpoint or from a workflow efficiency standpoint, but it is something that is ideal for us. Doing this myself with help here and there as I can get it, but otherwise doing it myself without causing leaks in our home and just creating a giant headache. I'd much rather fight with this stuff a little bit at a time than have the whole top of the roof ripped apart, stressing out, and really just destroy everything. So again, this is how I'm doing this. This is not a how-to at all, but I am at least talking you through my thought process. Maybe it'll help somebody out there. All right, I'm going to continue on down the line of attaching the plywood to the rafter tails with these 2 sections that I've already done, and then we will put up the next section, which will be the 3rd. All right, so you guys are going to be seeing the time lapse right about now. Sam just carried a bottle jack up a ladder to his house. And no doubt you're going to be like, what the heck is he doing? What's he doing? Let me show you. So down here on the end of this 2x4, it's warped. Apparently, $8 still won't buy you a straight 2x4 from the home center. So I'm going to use this bottle jack on top of the ladder to push this up about, maybe half an inch, 5/8 of an inch to where it needs to be, and then attach it with screws. So that's why Sam has a jack on top of his ladder. Beautiful. Beautiful, Clark. Beautiful. Beard cam. Uno más. Uno más. Yay! I think what I want to do is change gears a little bit and work more towards the final buttoning down of things. And I'm going to go ahead and start putting the 2x6 sub fascia starting on that end of the house and coming this way as far as I can. I need to make sure I leave enough overhang over the end of the house so that whenever I do my rake ladders or rake rafters, whatever they're called, the angled boards on the end of the house, that the 2x6 is long enough that I cut it to fit. I don't want to make myself short. So I'm going to let it overhang down there. I'll probably still attach the plywood to it so it tries to keep everything nice and good. And then I'll come on down along the edge as far as I can, attaching the 2x6 to the rafter tails and the plywood. So, let's go. All right.
Let's go.
Let's go. Welcome to the roof. Well, okay, the edge of the roof. You're on top of the ladder. Actually, you're not. You're out in the middle there. Ah, don't look down. All right. Ta-da! All framed up. Got our subfascia board up there, and it is buttoned down super solid, nice and tight, just right. I went ahead and left the overhang down there beyond my hand. Left it down there farther than I know the roof is going to go to be cut off at. I still got to trim the ends of the house, so there's enough down there, and it is attached to the plywood, so it's not going anywhere. Otherwise, this looks really, really good. Told you, looks good, doesn't it? Now this reveal, this little lip, I will come back and probably trim. Yes, probably will do that. Yeah, I will. I've got to work out some inconsistencies down on this end of the roof. No, the other end of the roof where I started off. So I've framed up the soffits or eaves, whatever this is, to be about 1/4 inch under length. And it turned out really good. So, nice. Let's see. I think I can probably get one more 2x6 up before calling it quits for today. So let me go down there, measure, and put it up. I'm going to do one other thing while I'm up here, and it's the whole reason I toted this thing around up here. I'm going to put a couple of staples on this subfascia board to hold the underlayment from blowing up on the roof. I'm not going to go crazy with them. I'm just going to put a couple, and I'm going to let the edge dangle freely so all the water just drips and gets out of the way. See if I can selfie stick this and show you at the same time. Ha! I have 2 of the 2x6s put up in place. Angela got a little bit of practice flying the drone. She was not happy or really comfortable with it, but it's one of the things I want her to get comfortable with, and why not? It's just me on a ladder, kind of standing still. So that was fun. I was glad that she piloted that so I could focus on putting the board up and not falling. I have enough of the Eve boxing thing, mid-jig widgets. Somebody please give me a name for this. I want to call it something. So please, what do we want to name it? Let's pick a name. I'll go with it, even if it's Fred. So I have enough Freds on the house here that I can put one more 10-foot long 2x6 sub fascia board on the house before I then have to put another Fred on the house. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. It is getting pretty late, but I've got enough daylight, I believe, to get it done. So let's get it done. Even though this day started off with failure and epic mindsets of failure, I think it ended up being a total success. I feel really good getting the 1, 2, 3, 4 sections of Fred on the house and 3 of the subfascia boards. Looking good. Welp, I'm at a pretty good stopping point because the next step that I can do before I progress is to remove the roof off of our back porch and continue cutting the old gutters off the house. That's right, I never finished doing that beyond what I showed in that other video. I had so much fun that day, I thought that I would just wait and do it later and maybe let you guys have some more fun with me too. Either way, that's a video for another day. I am done for today and very happy and pleased with what I got done and that everything worked out as good as it did. Whew. Feels really good. I appreciate y'all watching as always. If you are just seeing this one video, there's a full link to the playlist down below, along with other links to support the channel and everything. We appreciate everything you guys do, and hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was educational, informative, or if nothing else, entertaining. Have a good one. We'll see you next time on the homestead.